everybody, Dr. Kaylee Garrett Zimmerman here, physical therapist, owner and CEO of FEM Empowerment and Advocacy. Today is part 4 of our diaphragm series. Part 1 was about the anatomy and the physiology, or what the diaphragm is and where it is on your body. Part 2 was how to find it on yourself. Part 3 was assessing for any problems that you might have with it. And today, part 4 is giving you some tips on how to start using it, how to start training it, and how to start building that muscle, because your diaphragm is like any other muscle in your body. You have to train it, you have to strengthen it, you have to work on coordination, you have to work on endurance, or it won't get better. And it's going to just continue like that throughout life, where you're not getting the appropriate amount of breath in. I don't know about you, but I want to breathe appropriately so that I can use as much oxygen as I want and can to get all of the activities through in my life. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that you work on the technique that I talked to you about a while back, and I've mentioned a couple times through this series. One of which is if you've got your hand on your chest, your other hand on your stomach. When you breathe in and you take that deep breath in, I want you to really visualize a couple of things. You're going to visualize, one, everything in the pelvic floor is going to relax and lengthen. You need to think of your body as kind of a balloon, and we'll talk about a balloon specifically in a moment. But you want to feel your pelvic floor and see everything down below relax. You want to see everything around here expand. And it's just kind of like a circle. It's just going to fill up with air, and then you're going to breathe it out, and it's going to go back out. The visualization is very important, because I find if you're not able to see what's supposed to happen, it won't happen appropriately. So remember, when you breathe in, go back to video 1 if you need a refresher. But when you breathe in through your nose, you're trying to get as much oxygen through your lungs as you can. So when you do that, your diaphragm's actually moving down. So you want to make sure that you're allowing as much oxygen as you can to come into your lungs. That's why we want to work on that belly breathing to get some of that air there. I want you to think about the visualization, and we're just going to do 2 here. Remember, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And hand on chest, hand on stomach. Deep breath in. And out through your mouth. Do that again and really visualize what you are feeling in your pelvic floor. Because what I'm feeling is I'm breathing in and I feel a little pressure but relaxation going down into that pelvic floor, and it's relaxing, almost helping me bulge a little bit, if that works. That's a different video for a different time, but really considering what that means, that relaxation, that deep control feeling that you feel when you're taking that breath in, and when you're breathing out, you can feel everything come back together. So that's the first exercise I want you to start working on, is really just breathing. You can do that in laying down as well. That takes gravity out of the picture. For video purposes, I'm sitting. Now the next thing that you can do is, in essence, to the ball or the fist that we talked about in the last video, where you take your fist and you put it right where your diaphragm is, you add pressure, and then you breathe. And then out. So what you're doing is the same as you would if you were adding weights to do bicep curls, is you're adding resistance into the diaphragm in order to make yourself a little stronger. Now, if you are to lay on your back and do that, same thing. You can put your fist here, or you can even put a little tiny 1 to 2 pound weight right on your diaphragm and work on breathing in and breathing out against resistance. In this position, you can also add pressure on the outside of your rib cage. So push in, breathe out against resistance, or breathe in against resistance, I apologize. So there is that. The next technique or option I want to give you as far as exercise is, you're going to take a balloon. Now you can get these for $1, by the way, at any Family Dollar or Dollar Tree, so there's no excuses not to have a balloon. You can also use a straw, and I'll explain that in a moment, but believe it or not, I don't have any straws in my house. So what you're going to do, you're going to put your feet up on the wall. You're going to be at 90-90. You're going to put the balloon in your mouth. Now, you're going to watch me first, and I'll explain what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I'm holding onto the balloon with one set of fingers. I'm feeling my stomach with the other set of fingers. When I breathe in, I am blocking my mouth airway. So I'm breathing in only through my nose. So I'm not sucking air back out of the balloon. And when I breathe out, I'm breathing out until I have no more breath left. That's really what's giving that strength to the diaphragm. That's going to help to press all the air into the balloon. The object is to not do this. See how that's not effective because you're just breathing in the air that you just put into the balloon. And if you do that, you're not doing the diaphragm breathing. Now, if you take a straw and a small piece of paper, you can do the same effect if you put the small piece of paper on the table. You take the straw and you blow. I'm trying to do this so that it doesn't make that awful noise. There you go. So you take the straw and you blow the piece of paper. And then you breathe in through your nose and blow the piece of paper. So that's one that you can progress to in sitting. I would recommend the balloon a little bit sooner than the sitting because that's going to really help you get used to what you're feeling and know exactly what you're looking for with your diaphragm contraction and what it feels like to relax, all while controlling and feeling what your pelvic floor is doing. Excuse me, remember the relation that your pelvic floor has with your breathing patterns, and that your core is not only your stomach muscles, it involves your diaphragm, back muscles, hip muscles, stomach muscles, all of it. It all has to work together. Okay, so those are the first few exercises that I would really like to recommend, and the first few meaning those two are the most important and the most effective to begin your training. This is, if you do a little bit every day, little bit, probably, I don't know, 30 times in a day. And if you think about it, 30 breaths in a day is super easy to do. You just have to concentrate when you're doing the diaphragmatic breathing, when you're focusing on the balloon. And of course, make sure you don't swallow the balloon, but you want to take time to do it because it's very important that you feel what your body's doing. A lot of what I do in pelvic floor PT is train you on how to feel what you're supposed to feel. Train you and educate you on what your body is supposed to do with certain activities, such as breathing. So it's important that you feel what your normal feels like. That way you know what it feels to be dysfunctional. If you're dysfunctional now, you're not going to know what normal is because everything I say you aren't able to do. If you get to that point, call me, let me know. I would love to chat with you and connect with you about that. We can talk about options as far as getting into a PT. We could talk about options as far as hopping on a call or a video call, and we can kind of chat you through that. But I don't want you to feel frustrated because your diaphragm is my favorite muscle, but it's also, in my opinion, one of the most important muscles to train because it can be so powerful to reduce stress and anxiety, to reduce pain, to improve sleep patterns, to improve exercise, to improve running distances. It can help with so many things if we learn how to use it. So why don't we take advantage of the use of that muscle and learn how to use it, learn what it feels like so that we can continuously get better and get stronger. If you have any questions, please drop them below or private message me. I would love to connect with you. And if you have any questions about my new business, Fem Empowerment and Advocacy, I'm very excited to talk about, and I would love to communicate with you about what I offer. Please let me know as well. Send me a message, send me a comment, whatever you want to do. I'd love to connect with you. Thank you so much, and I'm glad that you were part of the series of the diaphragm with me. And if you have any particular questions, concerns, comments, thoughts, or anything else you want to be addressed, please let me know. Have a great rest of your day.